Hey boys and girls, this week for the instructional video, we are going to do something that you guys all love. I say that sarcastically because a lot of us don't like it, but we are actually going to go through some of the fitness testing skills and drills that we run throughout the year. Now, we didn't do any fitness testing or fitness assessments this year, so I figured this would be the perfect time to show you some different ways that you can actually do this in the comfort of your own home or on your driveway or even on your sidewalk. First, we are going to start off, we're checking our flexibility. We are going to do the sit and reach. Now, in case you forgot, boys and girls, the sit and reach is done usually with your feet up against a ruler or up against the wall, and you are going to reach out as far as you can. Now, if you can see my feet, you know they're just kind of there. It's not up against anything. So what we are going to do is we are going to see how far Mr. D can reach. We'll see if he can reach his ankles. We'll see if Mr. D can reach his toes, maybe put his nose to his knees or his nose to the sidewalk. You never know, so let's wait and see. Usually you want to take a couple of practice attempts. Just make sure your feet are always perpendicular to the sidewalk and your toes are pointing to the sky and your legs always stay flat. Put one hand on top of the other and you're going to reach and relax. I didn't make it to my toes that time, so I'd say that would be an ankle. And we're gonna try again, take two. Got to my toes this time. Now on the third attempt, you are going to hold it for 3 seconds. Ready? Go. Mr. D isn't very flexible, so he touched his toes, but he held it for 3 seconds. Hopefully, all of your legs will stay flat on the ground wherever you decide to do this. The second thing we are going to do is something that isn't necessarily associated with a fitness assessment, but we are going to do a broad jump. Usually there are 5 different things that you do for a fitness test. Instead of doing the agility drill, which would be the shuttle run, we are going to do a broad jump. We'll get to a little bit of running later when we do the 40-yard dash instead of the mile run. Now, if you notice, I have my entire measuring tool on the sidewalk. I just used some sidewalk chalk. And what's really cool about this is you don't even need a ruler. You can use your foot to measure things out. The rule of thumb is if you put your foot on the ground, from your heel to your toe is considered 1 foot. Now that might not actually be factual until you grow up to be an adult. However, my feet are close enough to a foot that I'm going to consider that a foot. Now, what we're going to do when we do the broad jump is you are going to stand with both feet next to each other, maybe shoulder width apart. And then, when it's time, you are going to create some momentum with your arms because you can't move your legs, and then you're going to jump out as far as you can. The goal is to stick the landing. By sticking the landing, I mean your feet stop and you don't step any forward. Your feet just stick to the ground because the measurement will be where your back heels land and stay. So, I'm not going to take 3 attempts for this one. I'm just going to go with 1 attempt, but let's see how far Mr. D can jump. I'm here starting off at the line. I'm bending my knees. That's going to help me jump out further. So keep that in mind, boys and girls. I'm creating my momentum with my arms, and then when I'm ready, I jump out as far as I can. So this measurement is the 7-foot mark. Now my heel, my back heel was just ahead of it. So I'd say I probably can broad jump about 6 feet and 11 inches. Can you beat that, boys and girls? You should give it a try. Now, the next part's the fun one, the run. If you were doing the mile run, you might do 4 laps around the track. But since we don't have a track where Mr. D is, we are just going to do the 40-yard dash. Now, remember how I talked about how you can measure things with your feet? You can also measure yards. Does anybody know how long a yard is, boys and girls? It's a metric unit, and pretty much all it is 3 feet. Now, people say 1 stride, which is the length of your step, is usually considered a yard or 3 feet. So all I did was I took 40 steps and then I stopped and I drew a line with blue chalk. So I'm going to walk to my start line. I have my sister timing me and doing the camera work, so thank you very much. And she's going to let me know when it's time to go. And then, boys and girls, you can see how fast Mr. D runs. All right. Mr. D's ready, so you let me know.
Ready? Go! All right. That was 6.7 seconds.
Wow, that is fast. 6.7 seconds.
I can't do that.
So, we're 3 down, 2 to go. 6.7 seconds is a pretty easy time to beat, boys and girls. Let me see what you've got. Now we're going to finish with the muscular strength, the muscular endurance portion. I'm going to go to the grass to do the sit-ups. It would help, boys and girls, if you had somebody sit on your toes so that your feet don't move everywhere. And you are going to do sit-ups for 1 minute straight. Now, remember when you are doing sit-ups, you should be grabbing your shoulders when you come up. Your elbows hit your thighs, and then you get to go back down. Make sure your shoulder blades, which are back here on the upper portion of your back, hit the ground before you go back up. Now, if you are outside, try to do it on grass. Maybe bring a mat of some kind, just so your back doesn't hurt. If you're doing it on cement, your back might hit the ground a little bit too hard. We don't want your head to hit, so make sure you're staying safe. But try to do it on grass if you are outside. All right. So we're going to do sit-ups for a minute. You keep track of the time. I'll count how many sit-ups I do. You tell me when to go.
Ready?
Yep.
Go.
Make sure you breathe, boys and girls. This is a different angle, isn't it? You could see a little bit of my corona hair. You come out of the gate too fast, just slow down like Mr. D's doing. So keep that in mind. And always remember to breathe. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Boy, I'm dying. I am slowing down. And always remember, you can stop whenever you want.
And stop.
You don't have to do it for a minute straight if you don't think you can. Listen to your body. Remember, boys and girls, always listen to your body. If you are feeling tired, it's okay to stop like Mr. D did. You can stop, you can take a break, you can keep going when you feel ready. Take a couple deep breaths and get back at it, but don't be afraid to stop and take a break. I actually lost count because I was talking throughout it, so make sure you're paying attention to your count. But if I was to guess, I'd say I maybe did about 35 sit-ups, which is over half, but it's beatable. So let's see what you guys have. Now, the last part of the at-home fitness assessment is push-ups. Now, I know how much we all love our push-ups, boys and girls, so all that I ask is you do the best that you can. And remember, when you go too fast to start off, you slow down significantly at the end, just like Mr. D did with his sit-ups. So try to remember to pace yourself. Now, when you're doing the push-ups, remember, your hands should be underneath your shoulders. Your back is flat, just like we did our planks. If you remember that, boys and girls, in week 1. Your legs are straight as well. You're going to go down and up. Try to go as low to the ground as you can. I don't want you to go too low because it's difficult to get up, but I also don't want to see you barely bend your elbows and go back up. Your elbows should come down to 90-degree angles, just like Mr. D did. I'll show you this way before you go back up. See how my elbows bend to 90? And then we push them back up. That's what I want you to try to do. And as always, if you get tired or you need to modify your push-ups, it is okay to have your knees on the ground doing your push-ups. That is okay. Do what you feel like you can do to be successful. This is another minute, so my sister is going to let me know when it's time, and we are going to get going for the last fitness test of the day. You just tell me.
Go.
Feeling myself getting tired, I'm taking a break, getting a couple breaths in, and now I'm ready to go back at it. Oh, I'm tired again. Here we go. Maybe one more time before the time's over with. Again, your body's going to let you know when you start to slow down with those push-ups. It's letting you know to take a break. Woo! I am pooped.
Stop.
Now it's time. I almost did as many push-ups as I did sit-ups. Goes to show you where all my muscle strength is. So, there's your fitness challenge, your fitness assessment for the year. Do the best that you can with it. We made modifications so that you can be successful in doing different skills assessments. We touched on our speed with the 40-yard dash, our fast twitch muscle fibers, which essentially are just your agility and your speed when you did the broad jump, how much power you brought about and torque you brought about from your leg joints in order to jump as far as you can. We'll talk about those terms a little later. You can Google them if you're wondering what they are. We did our flexibility with our sit and reach, and our muscular strength and endurance with our push-ups and our sit-ups. Enjoy that, Huskies, and let me know how you did. Take care and have a great week.